Sylwester Walczak coming into the ring. Corey, what can you tell us about the 29-year-old from Poland?
Well, he makes a living going from opponent's hometown to hometown, and he's doing the same thing here tonight against a good prospect in Mian Hussain.
He'll be taking on Mian Hussain, who looks like on paper would be a bit of a prospect. It's the young kid, 22 years old, 3-0. All 3 wins coming early as he enters the arena here in Gatineau.
Well, Mian Hussain basically was one step away from being Canada's representative at this past year's Olympics. He lost to Custio Clayton, who went on to go on and represent the country, but he was one step away, so 1 month later he decided he would go the professional route, and so far at 154 pounds he looks like a strong physical fighter. Still a lot of polish yet to come, but a lot of power for the weight class.
So our first fight of the evening, 8 big fights. I know we didn't get a lot of time to talk about it in the opening, but got a real deep card here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of exciting prospects on the card. Andy Gardner foremost among them, and also Pascal Villeneuve, a Gatineau native who is a solid amateur, who'll be making his pro debut in front of his family and friends. So that'll be an exciting moment for him and a neat atmosphere, I'm sure, here in Gatineau.
Yeah, it looks like a very intimate setting, like the old days of boxing, as Mian Hussain gets in the ring. And let's throw up the ring announcer, Pierre Bernier. I can't hear you. You can hear me?
The first round of the evening is scheduled for 4 rounds in the long and middle division.
I can't hear him. I mean, I can hear him sitting next to me.
You don't hear him? Oh, you can't hear him. You hear this guy, though. No? Volume was down.
Four-round super middleweight bout, junior middleweight bout, kicking it off here. The Tiger management at the Hilton Lac Lemay. We see 303 knockouts. Mian Superman Hussain. That seems to be a popular nickname in Montreal.
Yep. The super nickname?
Oh, Superman isn't our friend Mr. Stevenson.
Correct.
He's Superman.
Well, like Stevenson, Hussain fancies himself a puncher. You know, in the amateurs, he was more of a spoiler. He was awkward. But now, he looks like a knockout puncher.
Also a southpaw like Adonis Stevenson.
And it's funny, Mark. A lot of fighters will tell you when you're speaking to them in the pre-fight preparations.
Oh, big little right hook followed up by left hand.
They'll tell you about how they're prepared to go the distance and they don't want to underestimate their opponent. Hussain just comes out and says he's looking for the knockout and he wants to end it as quickly as possible.
As he lands a hard left, 2 hard lefts as he backs Walczak up on the ropes. Walczak 3-3-1. No knockouts. He's coming off a 4th round stoppage defeat to Tyler Goodjob back on as Hussain lands a couple more left hands.
And Walczak already not reacting particularly well to these punches. And against Goodjohn, he was wobbled by almost every punch that landed. And so far, we're falling into the same pattern.
Yeah, you can tell Hussain's one of these guys who understands he ain't getting paid by the hour here. Hussain in the green, Walczak in the white. Right hook from Hussain, and wild left hand scrapes the nose of Walczak.
Hussain comes from a fighting family. He and his brother became the first brother pairing to win the Canadian Nationals in the same year as the Grant brothers, way back in the 80s. He's entirely engulfed in the sport and has been since an early age.
To tie up on the inside, and Hussain, like it looks like he likes to do, will just wing him at any time. Places a straight left to the body.
So it'll be interesting to see how his style adapts, or how this style adapts as he moves up in competition, because right now he's just looking to set up power shots, but as his competition steps up, he could turn back into the spoiler type that he was as an amateur.
And he's a guy with these wild swings, Corey. He's, against some more adept fighters, he's leaving himself more than wide open as he eats a right hand, but he lands another left of his own. We close in on the end of the first round, scheduled for 4 junior middleweights. Mian, Hussain, and Sylwester, Walczak.
Well, a solid opening round for Hussain, but looked like he was pushing some of those punches, coming in at the lightest weight of his career as well. We'll see if that has any effect on him either.
We got a minute here. Go down the card later on our program. We have an exciting light heavyweight undefeated named Andy Gardner. I know you have been following his career probably since early in his amateur career.
Yeah, Andy Gardner was a very solid amateur, but you could always tell that he had that kind of style that was adapted, that was better suited for the professional ranks. He's a guy who just comes forward, likes to fight on the inside, which doesn't bode well in the amateurs always, but makes for crowd-pleasing fights, and he's stepping up in a big way tonight against Konstantin Peternov later on.
And right before him is an interesting young pro debuter named Pascal Villeneuve. Just walking through the lobby, there's a lot of Team Villeneuve T-shirts. He looks like he has quite a fan base to start his career off. We start round 2. Little problem with the mouthpiece in Walczak's corner. And we're ready to start the second frame here, scheduled for 4. Hussain tries, just as Corey said, down to round 1, pushing the left hand. He misses, but gets one into the body, a little bit low, warned by the referee.
He kind of has a habit of Superman lunging, so to speak, into some of these left hands.
He's all over the place. He ain't what you call textbook.
Well, the weight issue for Hussain is interesting because when he turned pro, it was initially thought, since he fought as an amateur at 152 pounds, that he would kind of fill out and settle in comfortably at 154 pounds, but in making weight last time out, he came in at about 151 and a half. So now, perhaps the thinking is that he could get down to welterweight.
Round 2. Hussain again pushes a left hand, hits the bottom of the chin of Walczak. Left to the body.
You Now, if Hussain wanted to, he could more or less march in and do whatever he wanted on the inside. He seems to prefer standing at range and trying to lunge in with these shots. I'm not sure that Walczak has anything to offer that would prevent him from just walking in.
He's got no knockouts in his 7 fights, and maybe the length, because Walczak is, nice little height advantage. Maybe the length is forcing or the mindset of Hussain to stay on the outside. So he lands a right to the top of the head, maybe behind the head. Right from Walczak, left from Hussain.
I think it goes without saying that Walczak has more than a few balance issues, and Hussain could easily walk him back. And again, that's just not the type of fighter he is. We'll see some of those later on in the card, but Hussain, an awkward, wild southpaw.
And he stunned Walczak right here at the end of round 2.
Well, that was the shot he was looking for. And you see the intensity pick up when he has his opponent hurt. Maybe like to see that throughout the rest of the round. He can get Walczak out of here pretty quickly. So take a look at the replay. He's lunging left hands. Still landing, but not with all of his weight behind him. The final one wobbled Walczak and did the trick.
See if he can capitalize on that as we start round 3. Walczak's been stopped once. That was in his last bout. Round number 3 scheduled for 4. Mian Hussain in the green. Sylwester Walczak in the white with black stripe. Hussain's won the first 2 rounds quite easily on our card. Hurt Walczak at the end of the last frame.
See if Walczak has his legs back here. He hasn't exactly had them throughout the fight, but
Hussain lands a left to the head. A little left to the body there.
Now, if you're seeing Hussain for the first time, you're probably thinking he's looking a little bit sloppy, but it should be noted that he trains with Mike Maffa, and Mike Maffa doesn't just take on any fighter who comes through the gym. His main focus is on Dirigeant, and after that it's Mian Hussain, so he clearly sees something in Mian, and with his amateur credentials, you would think that there is something there.
Uppercut on the inside from Hussain. Walczak looking around. No one's going to help him now as Hussain is starting to get in close as he misses with a wild right hand.
Hussain landed a good short uppercut on the inside. And he could do a lot more of that.
Just tie up on the inside. Hussain just missed with the big right, and he got him there with a right hand. Uppercut. Yeah, these are coming from some strange angles, these shots, but effective.
Walczak's traveled the world fighting, but I'm sure he's never seen anyone quite like Hussain. A tough style to mimic. Again, the mouthpiece of Walczak's second issue here. Now Hussain walking in with his hands down, gets in a couple little shots there.
We close in on the end of round 3.
Well, Walczak has fought in Canada once before. Fought Pedro Palacios here in Quebec early last year, so he's familiar with the territory, and he went the distance that time.
Hussain gets in a right hook.
Well, this certainly wasn't one that we had circled as one probable to go the distance, but that just might be the case here. We take a look at some of the replays. Hussain with a counter right hook.
Walczak at this point is looking to survive.
Well, right now, I'm sure at least part of his living is based on being a traveling opponent. He fought in 4 different countries last year. And it looks good if he can give prospects rounds. In this case, giving Hussain his first 4-round affair.
See some swelling around the left eye of Walczak. Most of that coming from those strangely thrown right hands from all different angles.
And he has an abrasion up on the right side of his head. Probably from one of those cuffing blows, maybe the laces of the glove catching him.
Walczak trying to get in a right hand there. Flicks the jab up.
Walczak also asked us at the weigh-in yesterday if his fans in Poland can get Wealth TV. Yes, you can. So hello to everyone in Poland.
Watching us on wealthtv.com. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning there.
Well, Walczak's legions of fans, I'm sure, are tuning in.
Probably enjoying the fight with a nice pierogi. Left to the body from Mian Hussain.
Hussain's having most of his success when he closes the distance and throws that right hook.
Now it's Hussain's mouthpiece. Jab and a left hand from Hussain. Mouthpiece goes out again. So it's Walczak's 3 lost mouthpieces to Hussain's 1. I think I've ever seen this many in a 4-round fight.
I would make a pun about him needing to grit his teeth or bite down in order to get back into this one, but Mark, it just doesn't look like he has anything.
He should just bite down and at least keep his mouthpiece in.
Right. Doesn't look like he has anything to deter Hussain. But on that note, Hussain also isn't jabbing.
There he is. He heard you. There's not much behind it. He wants to just land one of these big shots, a little right hook like there. Had Walczak running back towards the corner, and a good straight left hand.
For the most part, Hussain is only jabbing to directly set up that left hand.
Yeah.
He's not jabbing for any other reason. So you almost know when the left hand is coming because it's always preceded by a kind of pawing jab that he's throwing out there.
Good left to the body from Hussain. Hussain lands another left to the body.
And it is strange because he's fighting like a one-handed fighter, but as we said earlier in the round, maybe his right hook is his best punch.
Now some blood from the nose of Sylwester Walczak. He's got 2 swelled eyes, a lump on his head, and a bloody nose.
He earns a tough living, as do all opponents in this sport.
And for the sake of Sylwester Walczak, we are coming to the end of the 4th and final round. Oh, Mian Hussain here in Gatineau, Quebec. Guess it's so at least get some rounds in from Hussain.
That's not the worst thing in the world for him to have gone the distance. Not every performance for every up-and-coming fighter or prospect is going to be a thrilling one.
I know you'll talk to him in a minute to get his thoughts on the evening. Mian Hussain looks like he'll go to 4-0. Goes the distance for the first time. The crowd continues to file in here at the Hilton Casino Lac Lemay. Fight Club Series here on Welt TV. Ring announcer Pierre Bernier has, looks like he has all the particulars in his hand. And we will throw it up to Pierre Bernier with that decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, the three judges scored saying that evenly. User given, Pocket and Volupio each scored 40-36 for the winner, and still undefeated, Mian Hussain.
Mian Hussain goes to 4-0 with 3 knockouts. I'll be over to speak with Corey Erdman in just a moment. So let's throw it over to Corey with Mian Hussain.
Here with Mian Hussain, and Mian, you've been piling up the knockouts in your career. You go the distance for the first time. Are you happy that you got the rounds in, or disappointed you didn't get the stop?